Hello friends, welcome to Dr. Lab Analyst. Today I have come with qPCR data analysis use a different method. So previously I showed qPCR data analysis for gene expression using delta city methods and PAFL methods. So both have their pros and cons. So today I have come with a new method which probably you'll find interesting if you have the mean PCR efficiency and individual PCR efficiency of a certain point, some close to 2, you can say. So the new method is, as you already see in the screen, it's a Ruijter method, and this method have some benefits as well. So I'll discuss and compare between these three methods for qPCR data analysis for gene expression in a later video with detailed information of these methods and how and where we can use this. But I'll just show you step-by-step process how you can actually use this Ruijter method for qPCR data analysis today. I'm Dr. Shah, and I welcome you again to my channel and to be with us. All right, let's start. So for these samples, so I'm using the same samples that I actually showed you for delta PCR method and PAFL method data analysis previous videos. So as you know that we got the samples for gap DH in different conditions, BHI and wild type, and this is the reference gene and the target gene is below with same BHI and wild type. So I have several replicates as well. We got the CT values here. I already did the average CT values in my previous videos, so I'm using just these. You can see these videos for knowing actually how I did these average CT values calculations. And I got the mean PCR efficiency, as you already saw these in my previous video with PAFL method. And in this video, I'm introducing a new column here with individual PCR efficiency. So these individual PCR efficiency you'll get in your qPCR data analysis with the mean PCR efficiency. So you can use either of these PCR efficiency values for calculating your qPCR data and for fold change, definitely. So for this Ruijter method, I will actually use the individual PCR efficiency, so I can actually include all the replicates there in my calculations separately. So it will actually increase the weight of your data when you'll be presenting this in the meeting or somewhere else or in your paper or whatever. Okay, so let's start this. So there I can see that it's a written efficiency to the power CT. So as I said that I'll be using the individual PCR efficiency here and then individual CT values because if I want to use individual PCR efficiency, we must stick to the CT values of individual replicates. Yeah, let's start. Okay, I'll show you how to do it. So this is Excel datasheet, so I'll just click the individual one efficiency to the power CT, this one. That's it. So now I'll just carry this over to this, okay, and the same thing I will do here. There's no data, so I'll just start from there. So individual efficiency to the power individual CT. Okay, so that I'll also carry over for the rest of the, there's no any number for efficiency here, as you can see it's all zero, so I'll just select this from the analysis. All right, so my next step of the Ruijter method is dividing the reference of this efficiency to the power CT by target. So so from this stage actually we can go directly to the target gene. We don't need to analyze these for the reference gene, as it will be just one-way data. Okay, so I'll just calculate here. So the first one is blank, there's no any point calculating. The second one, this divided by this. All right, so you got the data. I will actually carry this over, and as there's no any data here, I'll just delete it. Okay, so now the average HI means this is the value of I'm not too sure why it's average HI. It should be actually average group G. Okay, so this is definitely for the target gene. Let's calculate the average here. We got the it should be actually GBHI. Okay, so probably I'll rename again. So G of BHI. Okay, so now it seems to be more clear. Okay, I'll calculate the average here because this is the first point here. I know you already know how to calculate the average values from this place. So these will be 1, 2, 3, and 4. These 4 will be average. Okay, so it seems to be 0. I know because it's just a select only 1 decimal point after that, but it's not 0. I am definitely sure about that. So what you can do, you can actually extend the points from this place, like go to the as well as, so you'll find, yeah, so now you can see it's not 0. So if you just increase this values after decimal, you'll find a good value here. I'll just go back to my analysis here. So this is now treated versus untreated. Okay, so this is my untreated value, and these are all the treated values. So I will, so there's no any point calculating the first one. I'll just calculate the second one. Equals these divided by this. Okay, so I'll calculate every individually because this value is very small and there is a chance that we miss some data here. So that's the way we can actually calculate the Ruijter method. You can just plot these in an Excel file, but I'll just not show this to this video because I have shown this in my last 2 videos, delta city and pairful methods. So just if you are unsure how to do these, how to plot this graph in Excel using these values, so just please visit my previous one of these videos, so it will be easier for you to understand. All right, I'll leave you here then. Thank you so much for staying with me, and if you find this video useful, just share this to your friends and make your opinion and comment if you want to, and definitely stay with us for our next video. Thank you once again, and take care. Bye.